Good afternoon and good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next session at the Goldman Sachs Digital Economy Conference focused on technology. We are delighted to have Secco join us today. Representing the company is the CEO, Massimiliano Mauri. Ciao, Max. Welcome to the event.
Ciao, Mo. Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. So before we sort of go into our sort of fireside chat, I have to just read a quick housekeeping line, and then we'll dive straight in. So I just want to remind everyone that this conversation is not intended for the media, and it is off the record. So with that, Max, it's been, well, it's almost going to be a year since you came to the public markets. And, Secco has, even after its IPO, gone through many important milestones. But maybe before we kind of go through that and the strategy, could you remind, for those who are perhaps new to the Secco story, what Secco does, what are your kind of products and the key kind of offerings and the pain points you're solving for your customers?
Absolutely, very happy to do it. I think in a scenario where the IoT basically will be everywhere, having more than 10 billion of devices interconnected into the 2024, Secco is doing a couple of things. One, which is the historical business of the company, is the digitalization of the product of our customers from hardware point of view. And in this part of the business, we design and produce small pieces of microcomputers with all the enclosures around and the touch display upon. And this is a business with 5 years of visibility on average and a gross profit margin of 45%. And there is also the new part of the business of Secco, because actually we thought 3 years ago that data are become very important for any customers in any verticals of our markets. And so we spent a lot of time internally, and via M&A, we did 4 different small acquisitions. We invest over 25 million on Clea, which is our platform for IoT AI. And Clea, basically, you should imagine Clea like a big operating system. It is making 3 things. One is getting the data from the edge and putting the data into the cloud. Second, organize all the data, making device management and things like that. Last but not least, running apps on AI to help customers to analyze their data and to provide to customers important output, like, for example, analysis of the consumption, predictive maintenance, and things like that. What we are doing right now is basically to focus on the last mile of Clea, which is the AI part, to basically customize it for each verticals. We are doing it with many different customers. And actually this part of the business is a business with 80% of gross profit margin. Is a recurring business because it's a licensing fee, 3 months on average per device. And more important is incremental business, because if you have an hardware customers that choose Clea and is making 1,000 devices per year, you will have 1,000 licenses year 1 and 3,000 year 3 and so on. So it's an incremental business, it's recurrent, but it's also more profitable. Thanks to it, we accelerate our organic growth. Last year, we grew around 25%, and we are continue to accelerate our organic growth, that actually with a very good EBITDA margin, well above the 20% of the revenue already.
Got it. Got it. That's great. So maybe if we can talk a bit about your overall market, the market sizing, the market growth you expect, and then layer on that your competitive landscape, because I know you kind of compete with hardware only players, some software only players, and I guess there are very few that provide both. And I think that's where kind of you seem to sit. So maybe a quick discussion around that, and then what in your view is Seco's differentiation against that set of competitors.
Right. I think first of all, could be helpful to explain to people that the market is it's very huge and is growing by 15% year on year as a secular trend. In this kind of market, Seco is doing more or less, we did 700,000 devices in 2021. We are growing above 30% organically, so we should be close to 1 million of devices per year and more in the future. Still a small pieces of the entire markets. So the opportunity to actually to grow are terrific. Which is the competition? As you said, we are quite unique nowadays on the market, a sort of first mover in a new market that is forming, trying to offer an end-to-end solution to the customer that can provide not only the digitalization of their product, but also the data analysis. So to mention some competition, you can have Taiwanese guys on the hardware side, like Advantech or Adilink, and US-based company in the software part of the business, like PTC on the platform, or C3AI on the algorithm. This is basically the competition. The market is very fragmented market, so there are a lot of small company, basically in between 5 and 25 million revenue. And this is the reason why we can be a market leader. This is our goal, this is our dream. This is what we every day try to pursue and to achieve medium term speaking.
Got it. Got it. Maybe just kind of digging a bit deeper into the kind of value proposition. What is the, do you sell essentially a very standardized product, or within certain verticals or markets, you have to kind of tailor your offering? And which are some of your biggest markets, either by kind of geography or by vertical today? And where do you see the biggest kind of growth opportunities?
Right. I think one of our differentiation factor on the other part of the business is that we like to customize or personalize the product for our biggest customers. We like to do it because we can offer a better service to them, a very tailor-made solution. In terms of end markets where we operate, the biggest one is the medical, that is weight 25% of the total revenue, even if we are very well spread into many verticals like industrial, fitness, vending machine, tobacco machine, defense, transportation, so many different verticals. And in terms of future growth, what we are facing right now is a very big growth that is coming from a smart city, which is a new sector. There is a huge demand for electrical vehicle charger, for monitoring asset, for monitoring pollution, things like that, There are a lot of new applications and new projects that are coming from smart cities world. A part of it, I can say that we are facing a very strong growth in the beginning of 2022, both into order intake and order backlog, providing us a very good visibility into 2022 and 2023 as well.
Got it. Got it. So maybe just you touched on it already, but maybe let's go a bit deeper into Clea, because Clea is something that I think was largely developed in-house by Seco, which you rolled out at the start of last year. You've kind of then augmented it with the acquisition of kind of Oro Networks to add more kind of AI capabilities to the offering. You've also talked about a roadmap of potentially creating some industry-specific flavors of Clea as well. So what has been the take-up of Clea? I know you've announced a number of kind of customer wins. And
Yes.
What is the feedback from the customers on the offering itself?
I think we launched Clea after a lot of work in March 2021. Well, at that point, it was a very cool product, a very nice idea, and a promising product, After 1 year, I can say without any kind of doubt that based on the feedback and the level of adoption that we are getting from customers, it's a successful product. It's a successful solution that is working extremely well, providing value added and so a lot of benefits to the customers. This is the reason why we are accelerating a lot on this part of our business, getting a lot of traction with many different customers in many different verticals into the market. I would expect to review with all the financial community the result that we are getting on Clea very soon, because we would like to provide a full update. What I can say up today is we see a very positive feedback from customers and a level of adoption which is stronger than expected.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe how should we think about the cross-sell opportunity? Because my understanding is that obviously the primary opportunity is to sell Clea alongside new hardware sales, but you can also retrofit it on prior hardware sales of Seco product. But I think you said that Clea is fairly open system, that it can also work on other non-Seco kind of hardware product as well. So maybe help us sort of size the opportunity and how you think of it across the different vectors.
Yes, I think we are facing all the three opportunities. Actually, nowadays we are focusing more on our existing customer base because it's easier for us to deeper discuss with them about developing together apps on AI, which is the most value-added part of Clea. So the situation is we have very good contact on retrofitting product with Clea on top on existing customer in existing customer base. We are signing a lot of new contracts with customers that are adding Clea to their Seco hardware. And also we are serving a few names that are using Clea on third parties hardware. What I think in the future, what we will do is as soon as we get an entire ecosystem of apps should be ready by the end of this year. We will launch a Seiko App Store. At that point, we will start to offer the platform to third-party hardware. So that will be the future and the further development of our business model, using the platform like a big operating system, leveraging on the apps ecosystems in each verticals. We are also looking a super cool new M&A, which is a small company into a specific vertical that can provide a lot of apps already running on Clea, already developed, to add a lot of value in that specific vertical to our customers and to the Clea customers. This is something that we are working in this period. So let's see what's happening in the next few months. But could be, it's a small company, but it's a super cool company in terms of technology. And so can add a lot of value to our proposition.
Got it. And so while we're on on the subject, it sounds like because Clea is kind of built more kind of open standard, you can leverage both the organic as well as the inorganic route to really build out the capabilities within the platform. And you would look to kind of use both routes to kind of get that breadth and scale in Clea as well. Would that be a fair comment?
Right, it's correct. I think that M&A was a key part of our strategy in the past, but still a key part of the strategy for the future. Our strategy is very clear, is a strategy where we should have a very superior organic growth. And what we are facing is confirming it in all the aspects. Moreover, we can add M&A in two directions. One, as I said, in the software direction, small company, but a lot of value in terms of technology, in terms of product that we can add to Clea. And big company on the hardware side to enlarge our customer base, numbers of devices to leverage on Clea. That's the strategy.
Got it. Thank you for that. So, maybe if I can ask you, what has been kind of the learnings from the Oro acquisition? What have been kind of the benefits? And as you think of, AI was one of the important technologies that Oro kind of brought to your platform. How quickly have you been able to kind of integrate it with your existing offerings? And has this formed sort of the playbook, in a sense, right, for similar type of these technology acquisitions? And what are the specific bits of tech, I guess you've added AI with Oro? What are the sort of gaps are there that you think are the priorities to fill?
Actually, we got a very important lesson from the acquisition of Oro, which is now Seiko in the US. They are fully integrated into the Seiko group. They are taking care about the last mile of the platform, designing actually apps in many verticals together with our customers. And the most important lesson that we got with this acquisition is the understanding of the importance and the benefits that AI can provide to our customer base. Because actually the AI is something that learn by experience and improve performance every month. And it is exactly what is happening with the customers. Customers love the kind of application that the Seiko Mind is providing to them. And also it's is important because, as I said, will be the next focus on M&A, focusing again on AI and again on apps to improve the capability to provide a solution to the customers.
Okay, that's very clear. And on the other remaining technologies sort of gaps, where the priorities are?
I think we actually now we have a platform which is almost completed. I think we need to have a cybersecurity solution for the platform, but not only for the platform, also for the hardware. And the cybersecurity solution is a software level. So we are in a good position in discussing a partnership with another very nice startups into cybersecurity with a super strong technology to enable SECO to have all the products, both in hardware and in software, covered basically on cybersecurity aspect. That is another important portion of services that SECO will offer to the customers very soon.
Got it. Very, very helpful. So maybe turning in a slightly different direction, in 2021, you also did quite a transformational acquisition with the acquisition of Gas and Fricke, which is sort of almost like the SECO of Germany. So this was a way to expand or diversify your geographic footprint in Europe into the German market. Can you kind of remind us again what the strategic rationale for pursuing this deal was, and any updates on how the integration is going, sort of almost 6 months in?
Absolutely. First of all, the rationale was to increase our presence in one of the biggest markets in the world, which is the DACH area, plus to acquire a bigger customer base to leverage on Clear. And last but not least, to acquire a 45 million revenue company to achieve a bigger dimension overall, to attract bigger customers and to make synergies on the cost of the products. So, yeah. And actually, we are very happy about the acquisition that we did. After 6 months, we already achieved several points of the integration plan that we presented as soon as we announced the deal. Gas and Fricke is now SECO Northern Europe. We integrated into a single website all the catalog, all the technology, all the solution available for all the customers in any markets. We also build up a common roadmap for the future. I confirm the 4 million into savings at the EBITDA level coming from synergies. 2 of them we already got because are due to reduction cost. 2 of them we will got by the end of the year, when we will be able to add the touch display coming from Funnel to the existing SECO Northern Europe products. Finally, if you look our result in 2021, from revenue-wise, which is the part that we already announced, as you know, we did 114 million, but Gas and Fricke contribution was 12 million, well above the 11 million that we was expecting. and also in the growth that we are facing during the Q1, which is actually well above the 30% like for like, and including the Garz and Fricke number for the entire 21. So in a like for like, we are facing a growth above 30% in the first quarter of 2022, and the contribution of Second Northern Europe is quite high. It means that we are accelerating the growth path as was expected when we did the deal.
Got it. Got it. So if we think about, again, coming back on the competitive landscape, is Garz and Fricke bringing in another dimension of competitors in the German market? And then, as you moved, you're increasing your presence in the US. Are you seeing, and again, beyond the traditional AdLink and Advantech, are you seeing any other newer players coming in your competitive parameter?
No, we don't. I think due to the dimension, we more often compete with these two kind of competitors in any bid around the world, because actually Seco now is number 3 by dimension as per listed company in the hardware sector. So it's something that is happening very often to compete against them. Sometimes we won, sometimes we lose, but that's the market. The good things is the market is growing. It's growing a lot. We are growing better than the market, meaning that we are winning more than the others.
Yes.
And the reason why in my mind is so simple, because actually our product offering, which is quite unique, is something that the customers like a lot.
Yes. Okay. That's very clear. So maybe as we round out, what was a big year for you of many achievements, you also landed a historical contract with Olivetti Telecom Italia, which I guess was another proof point of not only, driving the hardware business, but also that pulling through software. And I think Olivetti will also act as an important distributor or effectively provide a distribution source for Seco to grow. So maybe for the benefit of the audience, give us a perspective of what this actual deal is, and how significant this be in catalyzing growth for Seco.
Right. I think we did a lot of work with them already. We are getting some traction. Anyway, I should mention that, as you may know, in Telecom Italia, they changes the CEO. They have an bid that is coming or not, I don't know, from KKR. All these kind of topics, of course, also influenced a bit the partnership that we had with Olivetti. So not in the sense nothing is changed, but just delay, because changing in people, meaning also rebuilding the relationship and start everything. Anyway, the collaboration is going well. We are providing software, as you said, clear solution to them and to their final customers. We are looking different opportunities with them. We also started to get contracts. And I think the most important side of the potential of this collaboration will be on a European funds opportunity. There is a big portion of money that are coming in Italy in the next 3-4 years. And there is a good portion of them that is for digitalization, for AI, for these kind of things. So Olivetti and Telecom Italia are perfect company to intercept this kind of money and secure them. And SECO is the perfect company that can execute project for them. So basically, this is the sense, basically, of the partnership from the day zero, and this is actually working.
Got it. Got it. So from your standpoint, despite the ownership and control, potential changes at Telecom Italia, this will not, at this stage, drive any change. And I think the expectations you had set out in the summer last year when you announced the partnership, it's just maybe the speed at which things move might be a little less even, just given the changes in the background. Would that be a fair conclusion?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So the other area we haven't talked about is Asia Pacific. This is obviously the home market of some of your bigger kind of hardware only players, Advantech and AdLink. What are SECO's plans for Asia? I know you're expanding in Europe. You put some foot in the door in the US. Is Asia a priority for you right now, or it comes further down the line?
No, it is. Actually, we did an investments over there last year, and we are started to get some result. Actually, we build a very smart team over there, which is a team of 6 people in China and in Japan as well. Very well experienced people coming from the competition, young people, very hungry, and they are providing a lot of potential business that we are selecting and pursue based on the selection. And I should say that this market will be definitely a good market for the future, because what we are observing right now is the market is going to change in the sense that the customers started to be focused on the value of the offering and not only on the cost. And due to it, due to the dimension of the markets, in the future will be a targets market for further growth for sure for SECO.
Got it. Okay. In another topic we wanted to touch upon was, obviously the global supply chain constraints, they've kind of come through during COVID, especially in the semiconductor space, given this is a key input into many of the products you sell, has caused disruptions. How much of it has been a meaningful impact on SECO, and is this something that is a constraint around your ability to grow, at least in the short to medium term? And what's your expectation on when this will kind of start to normalize? Do we have to look out till 2023, or do you think in 2022 we could start to see kind of a more normalized environment on this front?
Well, there are 2 positions on the market. There are a part of the market that is predicting the shortage will be over in the second half of the 2022. Another part of the market that is predicting it will be over starting from the 2023. It's very difficult to make a prediction. What I can say, it was very tough in the 2021, even if we dive into very well. Just to let you know, in the end of the year, we got 4 million of overdue backlog, meaning backlog that customers required into the 2021 and we wasn't able to ship. Besides that, we grew at 44% in organic practically speaking, in Q4, which is amazing in my mind. We still have some overdue backlog. Beside it, we will continue to have a superior organic growth. But that's the point. From margin perspective, as you will see when we release the result, we will have an EBITDA margin that is growing significantly from the 2020, and we will continue to grow both as a number, and also as per incidence on the revenue. So that's I think for Seco was very difficult because we did the 3 price increase with customers. We did a lot of redesign, meaning a lot of extra work, but we was able to we are navigating into, and finally, when it will be over, we will have an extra grow like a turbo, because we will recover at that point all the overdue backlog.
Got it. It's very helpful. So we've got a couple of minutes left. I mean, Seco has achieved a lot and exciting times ahead. You're doing lots of M&A. There is the core business. There's the cross-sell of the Clear platform, strategic partnerships. What keeps you up at night? How do you manage to kind of keep all these things going? And I guess when investors look at Seco, they kind of worry that is Seco perhaps moving too quickly? And you as a CEO, how do you ensure that you keep executing on all those fronts to deliver the kind of the value creation?
I think the velocity it's everything in our market, and generally speaking in the market. The time to market is one of the crucial winning point. So we are working hard to address all the point. We have a lot of potential, which is not expressed yet, but we are building something very important, medium and long term speaking, with a lot of value for our customers, and I think, and I suspect, also for our shareholder. So we are, of course, managing a lot of different things in the same times. It's exciting in a way. It's also very tough in another way. But I think it's amazing what we are building. This is what we motivated, not only me, but the entire management team in Seco to continue to pursue a very ambitious growth plan.
Got it. So no, that's
and by the way, let me add these things, because you may remember it was private meeting when we presented the second to the analyst during the management presentation, the very first time we met together. The last slide was about 300 million revenue, and at that time seems like something impossible. We will be almost there very soon. So nothing is impossible. If you work hard, you can get a lot.
Exactly. No. I mean, in the year, almost a year you've been public, it's been a long way and a lot of significant developments. So Max, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you and get your insights on the IoT market as well as the multiple levers of growth for Seco. So thank you for joining us at the conference today, and wishing you the best of luck this year and in the years ahead. And thank you to everyone for joining us.
Thank you very much. Mo. Really appreciated the conversation.
Great. Indeed. Thank you.